right, well, today we're going to try something that I think a lot of people would like on the trail, and that's biscuits and gravy. And of course, we have to start by making some biscuits. We're going to be using 3 different flavors of Pillsbury's, Grands, and we're going to be going with buttermilk, butter tasting, and sweet Hawaiian. Okay, this is the first can of Hawaiian, and we just cut them into quarters using a pair of scissors. We have them on a piece of parchment paper, but no oil or butter. So we're gonna get these cooked and see how they go. If they come out fine, we're just gonna process the rest of them the same way. We may do some of them in halves and see how that comes out, but that's the plan. So we're gonna start baking. Oh, those look good. Well, let's pop them out and rinse and repeat. All right, look at those beauties. These are the buttermilk biscuits. And again, about 15-16 minutes. They are just looking mighty fine, so we'll get them out and just keep trucking. Oh, those are the buttery tasting ones. Looking good. Most of the freeze-dried backcountry meals and ingredients that we use here to freeze-dry are made from scratch, but today we're going to be giving out this sausage and gravy by Libby's a try and just see how that does. So let's get it into some silicone molds and get the batch going. Okay, so it took 3 cans to fill up these 2 silicone molds of the sausage gravy, and so that's about 1.5 cans per mold, and there's 6 blocks per mold. And the reason we're doing it this way instead of like if we were just trying to bulk prep food for long-term storage is that I want it already broken down into a size that's easy to split out into individual meals for backpacking. And so I think this is quite a bit of gravy in each one of these compartments, and so I suspect you could probably get each one of these freeze-dried blocks at least 3 biscuits, which would be about 12 with the little quarters, and maybe even 16 or 4 biscuits. So, all right, into the freeze dryer. Okay, so on the top shelf we've got the Hawaiian biscuits. On the middle, we've got the cooked buttermilk biscuits. This is all pre-freeze-dried. We're just fixing to start the cycle. And then on the third shelf, we have the butter-flavored ones. And you know, just tasting these fresh, cooked, I think I like the Hawaiian the best. It's certainly the sweetest and probably would go best with what's on the bottom here, which is the gravy. So, got a bunch of that in there. And I think the buttermilk would probably transport the best without getting crushed and all flaked up. So, get the cycle started and come back to you when it's done. Okay, so it actually finished in about 23 hours and 20 minutes, and then I went ahead and added 2 hours of extra dry time onto it before it had completed, just because, you know, we're freeze drying in these silicone molds and I didn't think it would hurt anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and shut this off to reduce the noise, and then we're gonna take a look. Okay, so this was the sweet Hawaiian ones. Yeah, I mean, they feel like biscuits. No surprise there. This was the buttermilk, and no surprise there. I think these will hold up better for backcountry. I'll probably end up doing those. But we're gonna go ahead and pack these up and get them out to some food testers. Got a group of volunteers. See, these are super flaky, and I just don't think they're gonna hold up to being stuffed in a backpack and carried around for very long. So probably go with these. Now, sort of the important part here is what's in this tray. And that is the gravy. So let's looks like it needs more dry time. That is cold to the touch and visibly not dry. So we're gonna have to turn this back on. I think what I'll probably do is go ahead and pop all of these out, put them on a tray, stick them back in, and add a few more hours of dry time. And we'll just go ahead and leave the biscuits because I just want to pack everything up all at once, all at the same time. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so this is the first one that we checked, but there are several others that clearly are not done, and they are cold to the touch when the surrounding pieces are less cold or even warm. Some of these on the edges, they're warm on the outside but cold on the center, and certainly colder in the center. And that's an indication, in addition to the visible indication, that we still have water in the product and that it's cold. Now some of these, the thinner ones, you know, they did appear to freeze dry completely, and by thinner I mean millimeters thinner, but we still have, like this one even, still has, you know, an area that needs to be freeze dried. So we're going to get these back in the freeze dryer, add some more dry time, maybe a few hours, and get these wrapped up. All right. Well, I don't feel any cold spots there, so that all looks good. All right, let's get these bagged up. So we've added oxygen absorbers to the bags, and we put them in here folded up. They have 1 block of gravy and 12 biscuit sections. And now we're going to vacuum seal them. Okay, I'm at approximately 1,500 feet above sea level, and we want to get mTOR below 1250. So there we are. got everything bagged up. We ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 meals of the biscuits and gravy with, well, gravy. So the biscuits and the gravy. And so we'll get these labeled up, and we got all of them vacuum sealed using the Harvest Right freeze dryer and the thicker Mylar bags. So like these Harvest Right Mylar bags without a zipper, a resealable zipper on the inside. They seem to work better for that. And you know, some of these vacuum seal stronger than others, and it just, you know, anything under 1200 mTOR seems to work for me. In fact, some of these, like this one, you can see how tight that is. I think that was at 1200 mTOR, and others like this were like 750, and it's just in transporting them from opening the door of the Harvest Right and moving them to the sealer, you know, a little bit of the differential between the atmospheric pressure and the low pressure on the inside of the bag, which is what's creating the vacuum, was lost, but that's still plenty vacuum sealed. And the reason for vacuum sealing these for backpacking, and I did one that is not vacuum sealed, and listen, so I think, for example, without being vacuum sealed, the chance of these biscuits making it on a backpacking trip, they're going to be in a lot smaller pieces by the time you open the bag to eat the meal than, for example, any one of these, you know. And you can see there's the gravy part. And so we're going to get these turned out to some food tester friends, backpacker friends that I have, and get their feedback on them. And we're going to move on to the next meal. So I hope that was interesting and helpful for you guys that are doing, you know, pantry prepping at home for long-term storage, or prepping for your next backcountry adventure. In any case, thanks for watching, and if you haven't subscribed, take a minute and hit that subscribe button. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, and certainly leave comments, and we try and get back to those in a timely manner. And if you follow me on Snap at FrostySith, then sometimes you get extra content that way. I'm also on Instagram at FrostySith. And whenever you can, get up, get out, live a little. See ya. Now, the ones we're most interested in are the potatoes.